What's the last thing you took a picture of? The last thing I took a picture of on my phone. God, my photo roll is boring as shit. It's a bunch of stuff at work. It's just a bunch of photos of stuff at work.
Dick pics.
Not dick pics. I don't take my dick out at work. Have you ever taken your dick out at work?
I mean, to do things, yeah. I mean, when you need it.
I mean, sometimes you need it.
Mega Dads Live is a mature-rated podcast. It's for the Mega Dads, the Mega Moms, but not the Mega Kids. So put on those earmuffs and let's go!
As I'm going through my photo roll,
yeah,
the older that I get, the fewer pictures there are of me.
I haven't had a photo taken of me in 6 years.
I'm not a person, like some people are resistant to having they don't want to have their photo taken. I'm a fucking handsome dude. Like I'm good looking. But like nobody wants to take pictures of me.
I think I heard the Mona Lisa is like the most photographed thing ever. Like the thing of the Mona Lisa. Like they figured out that people photograph it, you know, like when they go and see it, not flash now, obviously, but with phones. I think that was like a stat or something like that, because beautiful things get photographed. Things that people want to look at get photographed. So you're right. Nobody wants to fucking look at you. Strike you from the record of history. No visual record of Adam. Like dads do not get photos taken of them.
Is that it? Is that the thing?
I think we're behind the camera. And,
I am always.
Even then, though, you know, my wife takes a lot of photos, and not of me, though.
Okay, so I'm not alone here.
Yeah,
we'll go to it. We'll go to an event. We'll do a thing. We'll go to the kids' soccer tournaments. I'm taking pictures of kids playing soccer or my kids with my wife, and then I'm like, "Will you send me the ones that you took?" None of them have me in it. I think you're right. I'm being Back to the Futured. I don't exist in any of our family photos anymore. Is this the thing that you struggle with?
It's funny. I guess. I mean, you're standing there with your kids, and your wife's like, "Adam, can you move out of the way?" So I can
pretty much. Pretty much.
Don't put your arm around them. Let them go. Don't put your arm around them. Fucking step to the side.
Is my ego like just too big? Should I be overthinking this? Because I haven't really thought about this before. But as I'm looking through all these photos, I'm not in any of them.
Maybe you could AI yourself into some of these photos to make yourself.
I got the skills,
feel
but that just makes it more sad.
I mean, I've told you this for a long time. You're very, very pale. So your white point, you know, like your photo editing white point is, you know, you have to, a nice tan, maybe go outside, you know, maybe stand outside under the brisk Minnesota sun and get a nice glazing, you know.
It's kind of funny.
Put some Crisco on there.
I am whiter than fucking paper, and you can't tell right now because of like all the lights or whatever. But a couple weekends ago was the end of the season soccer tournament for my kids, and we had like 6 games, and it was in the 80s, and it was outside, and I didn't wear a hat, I didn't put sunscreen on, and I fried the shit out of myself, right? Like just instantly burst into flames. And this week at work, I was like walking through the hallway, and one of the people that works in my building was like, "Whoa, you got a nice tan." And I'm like looking at myself, and I'm like, I am kind of like a lightly toasted, you know, like if you put the toaster on 1 and you just and you just give it a little bit of color. That's me. That's a nice tan for me. Because you're right. I am one white motherfucker.
Do you like that? Do you like being a white man?
No, not really. I mean, for a lot of reasons. I don't
it seems pretty fucked up. Like,
I don't like.
I couldn't do it.
No, you're lucky. You don't have to be white.
Mega Dad's being super positive.
Holy shit! I blew my ears out with that.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing?
Mega Dad Super Positive, where we talk about the things that are bringing us joy in life. Antonio, what's got you happy?
Disney has done it again. So D23, like Disney has this little powwow mini convention type thing where they say, "Hey, get excited over, different things that we're doing and get hyped and all the Disney fans come out. There's a lot of reasons to like not like Disney for people, but I just gotta say I'm a Disney fan.
Yeah.
I like the parks, I like the programming, I like some of the moves that they've made. They're not perfect at all, but I'm a Disney person. I am sorry. I was super excited over an announcement. Did you hear about this, Adam? A new Villains Land is coming to Magic Kingdom with 2 major attractions as well as shopping and dining areas. So they are making a Villains Land.
Is this Disneyland or World? Did you just?
I'm not sure. Okay. Actually, now that I forget that Land exists because I feel like World is a better experience and the only one I've been to in Florida. Yep. But Land in California, I want to say that it is World, but I would have to be fact checked on that. But I'm very excited because the Disney villain subculture where people are into the villains, fans of the villains, rooting for the villains type thing, having fun with them is been around for a while. Like I like it, my wife likes it. There's
it really is, yeah.
The board game Villainous.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yep.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's been part of the Disney culture for a while. Now they're finally capitalizing on it and making a Villains Land. It should be a fun time. So yeah,
they really got to lean into it though. Here's what I propose.
Mm-hmm.
Strip club.
Okay, just real raunchy, dirty.
Strip club.
You can't do that.
They should have one place that's like a dispensary, right? Like if you're gonna go villain,
maybe
villain.
fracking on
site.
They
could have I think that'd be great. Yep.
Yep.
Really just lean into it. I think that'd be amazing.
Tax cuts for the rich, just fucking.
There's like a little mini Mar-a-Lago. I'm going to piggyback off of yours, super positive, because D23 had 2 things that really got me excited. Well, multiple things, but 2 things that I want to point out. First was seeing the cast of Daredevil Born Again just about gave me chills. I loved Daredevil on Netflix.
Awesome.
Loved Daredevil. And when that show ended, I was so sad. And then when they had him cameo in Spider-Man No Way Home, and then he was in She-Hulk, and I'm like, oh my God, Daredevil's coming back, right? But it's been Daredevil's coming back forever. But now Daredevil's back. And to see the whole cast together, to see Kingpin and the Punisher and Foggy, and it's like, oh my God, they got everybody. Got everybody. They're going to do it right. Oh, I'm so excited about that. Could not be more excited about that. And
great character.
I think the show premieres in February, so it's not far off.
Great character, God. Great. They humanized them. It's like deep. It's not just the action, and the action's awesome.
The action is so good.
The story is so disturbing and dark, and it's just very human, and it's very good. Daredevil is good. If you haven't seen it,
it's just so well done, and that's on Disney Plus as well. But the other one, which is really just for me, I don't know. I still can't believe
Toy Story 5.
No, man. Tron Ares, Tron 3 for the layman. Okay. I'm so excited about this movie. And then they announced that 9 Inch Nails is doing the soundtrack for this film. And everybody was like, how are they going to follow up Tron Legacy with Daft Punk having been retired? And they're not going to come back. And the music for this movie is going to suck. And then at D23, they announced it's 9 Inch Nails. And I'm just like, oh, this movie's going to rock my shit so hard. So excited. I can't wait to see if they ever release the trailer, because apparently they showed footage of the movie.
Oh, okay.
But it's not available to see to the public. So I love when super obscure shit comes back, and it comes from me like Twisters, and this. And I'm just ready, man. Snakes on a Plane 2 is going to happen. I'm going to bring it. I'm going to manifest it. It's going to happen.
Manifesting. They didn't make a Snakes on the Plane 2, 3,
no, man, that movie
4,
bombed
5.
hard.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's something that they would have done.
It should have happened. And at this point now, I think anything is possible. Snakes on a Plane 2. It's going to happen. Mark my words. Let's bring it back. Somebody do a petition. Change.org or something, right? We got to make this happen. Here at Megadads, we are all about celebrating our love of play with our children all year long. And every single fall, we kick off our Extra Life campaign to help families who are a little less fortunate be able to celebrate their love of play with their children. Extra Life is a charity foundation that supports children's hospitals all across the country. And the way that you can help kids is by playing games. Play games, heal kids. Sounds pretty amazing, right? For 11 years, Team Megadads has been doing this work and having fun along the way. And to date, we have raised over $20,000 for Children's Miracle Network hospitals across the country. It has been a joy to do that with you, our Megadads community. And today we're ready to do it all over again by kicking off our 2024 Extra Life campaign.
Welcome to Extra Life House Party. It's our goal in 2024 not only to raise the most money that we ever have for Extra Life, but to throw the biggest and most audacious house party on game day that we ever have. Hey kids, what are you doing?
Helping save lives.
We're going to be throwing our doors open not only to you, our live stream audience, but to our friends and family as well, ushering people in and out of Megadad's headquarters to play games all day long in an effort to provide the most support to families in need that we can. Hey guys, what are you doing now?
Helping save lives.
Here's how you can get involved. Starting today, starting right now, our fundraising page is wide open. You can go to extra-life.org/team/Megadads and support as much as you can to any member of the Team Megadads fundraising crew. 100% of your money is going to go to children's hospitals and families in need. Guys, what are you doing now?
Helping save lives.
And not only does your money go to help families in need, to help sick children get the care that they need, but your money is also going to help unlock party perks for our house party day. Now, what's a party perk? Those are things that we're going to be adding to our Extra Life house party to provide a more fun experience for those of us and those of you who are here, but also a more enjoyable viewing experience to those watching us on live stream. We're talking bubble machines. We're talking laser lights. We're talking fog machines, a ball pit for the kid. You even have a hand in selecting the games that we play on game day to make it the best house party we've ever had for Extra Life. Guys, what are you doing?
Helping save lives.
So help us help families by going to extra-life.org/team/Megadads today and pledging your support.
And we will see you on November 2nd right here at youtube.com/Megadads for Extra Life House Party. It's going to be a full day of fun and play. And what are we going to be doing, guys?
Helping save lives.
This episode of Megadads Live is going to be a special one because we are diving into Mabel's mailbag. That's right. Yeah. No, I didn't ask you. Shut up. Sit down. Mabel, my God, she's off the podcast for like a month and she thinks she can just step in and run the whole show. Mabel, you just sit there like a good assistant. No. Watch it. Pull out that letter. If you want to get your letter in Mabel's bag, all you got to do is join the Megadads Discord. It's in the description of this video right here. You join up for free, and every once in a while, we like to get some community questions. So let's do it. The first question comes from Spokes, and he wants to know, what is your underrated or hidden gem video game recommendation? And I'm going to go to a game that I played way back on the Xbox 360. It is 007 Bloodstone. This was a game that came out in the Splinter Cell hype period where we were doing these third-person action-adventure spy games. It played a lot like a Splinter Cell, and it starred Daniel Craig. So this was in the hype of Casino Royale, and this is a really solid third-person James Bond game. Which, dude, I don't know how we've gone so long without a James Bond game as a property that is just ripe for a rebirth in the video game space. I know that the people who are doing Hitman are working on one. Seems like it's been forever since they announced it. But Bloodstone was a really great third-person game. Had some cool stealth shooter mechanics, had some vehicle sequences, and again, your guy looked like Daniel Craig before they ruined that, film series with a really terrible final entry. Hey, did you ever play this game, Bloodstone?
No, I did not. And it's intriguing because I'm like, how did I miss it? How do you think the game went like underappreciated and under the radar by people? Was it just the time that it kind of came out? It was only good to certain people, or was it just like it just for one reason or another didn't get the credit?
I
it
think this is
deserved?
just one of those games that came out where we were still getting lukewarm franchise games, like licensed property games. We got a lot of James Bond titles after the 007 GoldenEye days where they were just like, meh, it's okay. And I don't think that Bloodstone is like a 5 out of 5 by any means, but damn, it was really solid and one of the better James Bond experiences. It wasn't first person, which I appreciated. Like it was more about the mechanics of sneaking around and doing the spy shit as opposed to just running around and shooting everything, which I think a lot of those James Bond games just became shooters because of GoldenEye. So I don't know, man. I really dug it. It just never caught fire.
Yeah, I hear
What
you.
about you? You got an underrated,
Yes.
underappreciated?
I was lamenting the lack of co-op experiences with my little friend group for a long time. And we would have a game night and we would play games at least like twice a month or more, and we would get together and we'd specifically try to look for games that we could play together. And we went through everything. We went through the Borderlands series. We went through just anything that you could think of that was co-op traditional. We hit up. And honestly, most co-op experiences just do not capture the magic of some older things. So we're looking and saying, oh, what could we have possibly missed? We stumbled upon a game called Shadow Warrior 2. Shadow Warrior 2 is, I'm pretty sure it was available on Game Pass. They did make a 3 that is single player only, but Shadow Warrior 2 is fantastic. It is a action heavy game that has you play as kind of like this very quick moving agile like warrior who has a arsenal of weapons from bows to submachine guns, rocket launchers. It's very Doom-esque where you go and battle like everything from ninjas to creatures like that are like mythical with like multiple tails and arms, cyborgs, things like that. Like all sorts of gross, messed up, huge things that you are killing, destroying with an arsenal of weapons that is just absolutely brutal, fast-paced, co-op experience, and it looks beautiful too. Like it runs very well at the high speed that you're playing at, and it was just fantastic. So much so that when Shadow Warrior 3 was announced, we were super happy. I think it finally came to Game Pass as well, and then that came out, and it was single player only. They ruined the entire thing. It was one of the best co-op experiences we had. It's just mindless fun with your friends, just blowing things up. Pretty challenging, and you could adjust the difficulty and stuff like that. And kind of like a loot system and upgrade system to it too, where you're upgrading every weapon. So it's like, oh, I like the melee weapons. I'm gonna do this. I like this weapon that really like blows things up. I'm gonna upgrade that. And it had so much going for it. Definitely an underappreciated title. Shadow Warrior 2. I would give it a shot. Anyone who likes action games, if you're a fan of Doom, a fan of co-op experiences, try it.
There needs to be more focus on couch co-op games for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what people are thinking. We need more of those games.
Yep.
Coconut Wizard says, what type of game would a Megadad's video game be?
Easy.
And you said easy?
Yeah.
You got one? All right. What
Yeah.
is it?
It's a relationship sim. They
Fuck
already
yeah,
made
it is.
they already made the game. It's that Daddy
Dream Daddy.
Dream Daddy
Yep.
game, because we're very attractive people.
Yeah.
We're super open, let's just say.
Great complexion.
Like horny.
Yeah.
We need the touch of another, like quite often. So I think that it would have to be something where you're like definitely betting people, a lot. Like maybe a raunchier persona, maybe some turn-based action in there. I take a turn, you take a turn. Let's take a turn together. Do a little combo move.
Co-op.
You know what I mean? You're
Co-op,
upside
yeah.
down. I'm face up. Then you're face up, and then we're both face down. That type of thing. Relationship sim, actiony. It's not a strategy game. It's not something slow. It's got to be quick because we're very fast.
It's a very brief experience.
It's over.
The
The playtime time to beat is like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And
my god!
you get the platinum trophy. It's like you unlock the achievement for speed running the whole situation. Something like that.
I think that's it. I think that is the Megadad's video game. I like it. I was gonna say I thought of. I like when they do these like franchise games, like the Ghostbusters video game, where it's like you're trying to be the new Ghostbuster, right?
Yeah.
And you don't play as the Ghostbusters, but you play as the new recruit. So I'm like, you're trying to get on to Team Megadad. Yeah. So like we would all be like the side characters, just like in Dream Daddy, we'd be the people that you're trying to court, and you're trying to get on the team. But apparently, you get on the team by smashing us. So I like that. I like that.
Oh,
idea.
So you're the new rookie, huh? Trying to earn your place on the team. All right. Well, here's some peanut butter. Do what you will with it.
I think you dropped something.
Yeah.
Luke number 2 wants to know what video game character would be the worst roommate. Why?
I know.
You got this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Earthworm Jim.
Okay.
So, he's a worm, you know, and he's not going to be in his like body suit. It's just going to be like the worm most of the time.
Just
so your roommate is going to be a worm. He's not going to have his work clothes on. He's just going to be sitting around. Could you imagine? Like you're just sharing like a living room with a worm, and he's just like slithering around, and he's like making that noise that worms make when they like move slightly. He's always a little wet. Like he gets up from somewhere, and you're like, oh, was he just sitting here? He's like slimy. He's got like dirt. He's just eating the dirt, and like, oh, he has an accident at work. All of a sudden, there's 2 of them now. He gets sliced in half, and he replicates. And it's like, fuck, are you both going to be paying rent, or is it just going to be the one of you? Like, what is going on now? Earthworm Jim, yeah, I think like that guy was annoying.
He was really annoying. I think I'd think about like characters in video games that are impossible. You would not be able to like hold a conversation with. Like I'm thinking of like the Chain Chomp from Super Mario 64. Like, can you imagine trying to share a space? First of all, he's fucking grumpy. Like you just walk by him and he just starts barking at you or whatever.
All the time.
And he's staked in the middle of the living room, so he's really hard to get around. On the plus side, he wouldn't leave his laundry anywhere. Because like, there's like, he doesn't have anything to clean up or whatever. But just like a really disagreeable personality, and he doesn't speak English, and he's just always in the way.
Plus,
like,
you're getting in trouble all the time. It's like, is that your roommate? Like chained to the wall?
Yeah,
it's like, no, he likes it. He likes it.
There's a lot of kinky ramifications
he
involved
chooses
there.
to do that. Yeah.
All right, finally, Bird wants to know. By the way, can we settle this right now? Who's more filthy, you or Bird?
Bird, come on. Yeah.
Bird tried to come back and say that you were by chance a more filthy mouthed person than he was. And
I'm like a nun. I belong in a nunnery.
This dude is just like, yeah. Every other conversation is about wiener.
My hands are clean. Okay.
Which is really surprising because this question is very clean. It's if you were stuck on a deserted island, which character would you want to be stuck with? And there was like a in parentheses, the character cannot get you off of the island. So like you can't be somebody who can rescue you. It's just got to be who do you want to be stuck with forever till you starve to death.
I think a Pikachu would be good because he could supply like the milk that you would need to sustain yourself like in the long term. Companionship, and then it's kind of like a creature comfort thing too, because if you sit on Pikachu, it's like one of those massage chairs. You're like slightly vibrating and getting like
Yeah.
that tingle all over your body. So you have entertainment covered, companionship, food, nutrition. I think Pikachu would be good on a deserted island, and then if any, stray creatures come along, then he could protect you, put a thunderbolt up their butt and fry them. Oh, fried food. You get fried food
There you
from the
go.
local cuisine.
Perfect.
Pikachu keeps delivering, you know what I mean? And then he's such a good listener. Pika Pika. Pika.
Yeah. Yeah. You run into that whole communication barrier though.
Yeah.
Unless you speak Pikachu.
Well, I tell myself he just understands me. Like, you get it. It's like, Pika. Like
Meanwhile,
that-
he's the whole time he's just like, I hate you. I want you to die. And like you're just like, oh Pikachu. Oh Pikachu. I selected Olimar from the Pikmin series.
Uh-oh.
Because when I think of like stuck on a desert island, I think of like the movie Castaway, right? Like, and how resourceful you are. And I think if you got Olimar from the Pokemon series, he can amass the army, right? And he can send them on all these tasks, and they can build things for you and find food for you, and then they multiply, and all of a sudden you got this whole army of friends, right?
Yeah, are you really alone if you have like all these Pikmin with you?
Right, that's just it. They multiply. So it's like you don't have to suffer through this with just one person. If you've got the Lord of the Pikmin there, you all of a sudden have hundreds of friends. And then maybe, I know this goes against his thing, but Olimar wouldn't save me. The Pikmin would, because they'd be able to build me like a fucking raft, right?
There we go. Yeah, got
So
around
I'm kind of sidestepping his rules
Yeah.
there a little bit.
How would it feel if you summoned like 100 Pikmin, you took all your clothes off, and you're just laying on the deserted beach,
Yeah,
and you just let them like kind of crawl
Pick you
all
up.
over you?
crawl all over you.
Yeah, like would that feel good or would that be weird?
I think that's a little weird.
All right.
But each Pikmin serves a different purpose. So you could like command a certain Pikmin to a certain area.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because like, you can be very specific with what you want your Pikmin to do. So
Didn't we
rather than
talk
just
about
let them,
this?
rather,
I thought we talk about like Pikmin have souls. Didn't we talk about that one time? I don't remember.
they like it. They like it. You can tell. I'm gonna talk about a game, another indie game that I've been playing. I recently got a code for Pepper Grinder. Now, this is an indie game that comes from Devolver Digital, and I've been really enjoying this. It's got an old '90s aesthetic video game. It's like lo-fi graphics, but not the old 8-bit kind of thing that was every indie game was trying to be Shovel Knight, right? This kind of looks like more a PS1 era game, and this is all about you are this pirate stranded on this island, and your main tool to get through each side-scrolling platformer level is a drill. So you think kind of
Oh.
like Dig Dug, right? Or you can go
Right.
down into the ground. Only the drill is really a propelling device.
This
So
looks awesome.
not only do you use your grinder as like a weapon, obviously you can drill into the bad guys, and it's really cool when you drill into the little bad guys. They're all cute little animated monsters, and when you drill into them, their skin falls off and their bones shatter and explode.
Oh
So it's
my
super cool.
God.
But the drill, when you drill into the ground, shoots you forward with incredible force. So
Like a
the
sense of
traverse,
momentum to it.
yeah, man, the traversal in this game is awesome. So you use it to burrow into some ground, and like maybe there's a big chasm that you got to get across. So you burrow, and the drill starts ramping up your speed, and you get faster and faster, and then you launch out of the ground. Think Tremors. You
Right.
launch out of the ground, and you go shooting yourself all over the place. And then it just builds and builds on that mechanic as the game goes. You get like grappling hooks, you get a Gatling gun, so you stick your drill into like a machine gun, and all of a sudden you're just like fucking shooting machine guns all over the place. And then it builds. You have certain levels where it's like you're going through mountains, and so you're burrowing through rock, and then there's snow levels, so you're burrowing through snow. There's a really cool snowmobile level where you're like riding on snowmobiles. It takes the platformer, and it takes kind of like the feeling of what Shovel Knight was doing, where it's like, oh yeah, this feels like an older game. But each level is adding something. It's very additive experience. It takes that foundational drill mechanic, and then it builds and builds. And this level, you're doing something new with it. And then this level, you're doing something new with it. And it's really good, man. It's visually beautiful.
It looks great, and
Yep.
and that momentum that you have with the drill looks incredibly fun. I've been dreaming of a game that's just like this, where the moment-to-moment gameplay traversal is just feels so right. And
Yeah.
so it feels good then when you're traversing and using that drill momentum and everything then, right?
It's tricky because sometimes that
Oh.
momentum will work against you. There's a lot of platforming in this, and the platforming really starts to utilize your tools, the drill and the grappling hook. So it requires you to be very quick with your reflexes. It'll shoot you out with your drill, and then you'll quick have to grappling onto something, and then that'll shoot you into another wall that you got to drill really fast. And sometimes that momentum is working faster than your brain, especially as an older guy, right? So it's like, oh crap, I whizzed right past the thing I was supposed to do, or it shot me out, and then I fell down a cliff and died. But the controls feel really good, and the platforming is super smart. They build these levels feels kind of like old Donkey Kong Country, where there's lots of jumping and swinging, and you're having to react really quickly. But when you chain together a series of great moves, it just feels really freaking cool. There's also really great boss fights in the game. The boss fights are actually incredibly challenging, so it's not an easy game. There's lots of great collectibles. So each level you go through has a series of hidden coins, and you pick up gems and treasure throughout the whole experience that you can use to buy cosmetic upgrades or more health, things like that. So there's little pit stops. Again, like Donkey Kong Country. Remember when you used to go to Cranky Kong's little shack and you have to buy like extra lives and stuff? It's got that mechanic to it. So it feels old school. It feels familiar, but the mechanics are a good infusion of new, and it's just a lot of fun. Very stylish. Game's got a lot of attitude to it.
Yeah, it looks cool. $14.99 right now, 34% off on Steam, so $9.
It is. It's a steal. It's great because it's got like that old. It's like old, like I said, Donkey Kong Country, Mario 3 kind of overworld vibes, but it feels fresh and it's got a good attitude to it. This game kind of came out of nowhere for me, but I am really enjoying my time with Pepper Grinder. It's really good.
Looks good.
Yep. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Mega Dads Live. You hear the caboose. The caboose is coming down the tracks. We're going to give you a recommendation of something outside of the world of video games that we think you'll enjoy. And Antonio, I have to ask you, have you watched Shogun?
No, I have not. Is it good?
It is fantastic. My wife and I just watched the final episode. It's one season so far, but they've announced that they might be doing more, all about Imperial Japan. It's like take Game of Thrones with all the political intrigue and the warring factions and the battling, but put it in real life historical Japan. Take out all the mystic stuff, all the magic and the dragons, rooted in reality with really interesting characters who are all kind of in it for themselves, but fantastic cinematography, great world building. Like you really feel like you're there. It feels very authentic and real. One thing that kind of surprised me after hearing about this show and the accolades it got, it's all subtitled, which is wonderful. So there's one character who the viewer is supposed to kind of identify as the person who is shepherding them into this unknown world.
Right.
He's not from Japan, but he's thrown there, and he speaks English, so you understand him the whole time. But all of the Japanese characters, which makes up the entirety of the rest of the cast, they all speak in Japanese, and it's subtitled. And so like the lead character doesn't understand them at first, and so he's got a translator, and you feel kind of fish out of water too. Does a great job of like showing you how big and mysterious the world is, and certainly was at the time. Really great stuff. If you like that kind of thing, if you like historical drama, Game of Thrones style intrigue and espionage, backstabbing, a lot of crude characters, but a lot of really cool characters as well, I highly recommend Shogun.
I've heard good things, so good recommendation. Yeah.
What's in your caboose, bro?
So for me, this summer's winding down, but I've done something that is more out of bounds for me, something that I hadn't taken to in the past, and that is golfing. So
Really?
I've gone golfing now this summer like 3 times, and each time I'm having fun. This is something that's been odd to me. Number one, a big challenge has been being bad at it, and it all of a sudden, I mean, I've been very drunk, and I think that's like
That's
key.
part of it. Yeah.
So I've been heavily drinking while golfing all 3 times, and I've been doing really well, and I don't know why. So I'm hitting the ball, I'm getting like legit, like if it wasn't for me getting kind of lazy with my putting, I would be like almost getting par, like, you know, 1
No
over,
shit,
2
really?
over, like a bogey. Yeah. So like I drive, you know, these are just local courses that are, you know, we're doing 9 holes on, but I'm not bad. Like I'll hit it very hard, very straight, and then hit it again and approach with like a good like swinging wedge, and like getting lucky, I'm on the green, okay, and then just like putting, and like I'll miss like the dumbest shots, like right next to it, you know, it'll take me like 2 to get in there, but I've had a lot of fun. And one of the most fun parts of it is we rent the cart and we drive those little carts around.
Yep.
And you know, when you're immature like me, you're driving that puppy up and down these like up and down these sand pits, like these rolling hills, and it's fun. And I think that now that I've gotten good at it, somehow it's a lot more fun, because before I'm like, why am I hitting this ball in, you know, out of bounds into the woods, you know, then we're like, you know, I'm walking or in the cart, and now I gotta look for the ball. Okay, I found it. Now I gotta hit it again. Oh, I didn't do it. Like it seemed pointless to me. But once you're drinking heavily enough, it's a fun game.
What got you into it?
I don't know. My dad golfs all the time. He's like, why don't you come? I'm like, I'm not a big golf person. I really don't like it. I don't like being out there in the sun or whatever like this. Like, it's too hot. And I just kind of enjoyed myself. I like stopped caring, you know, about like, just like, let me just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Let me just sit back, you know, drink like 12, 15 beers and just like drive around in this golf cart a little bit.
We do a golf outing at our place of business once a year. I know you do. Yeah. And you're right. The trick is get fucking drunk.
Yeah.
Get hammered.
If you get super hammered, it's like, you know, it'd be funny if I'm telling you this story and I'm like, yeah, I'm good or whatever. And like the reality is I'm hitting it like 20 times and I'm just missing and shit. It's just like, it's going everywhere. But I come back with the story like everything went fine.
Well, the real question is, as we've established, you're drunk. How many trees have you pissed on? You have to piss on the golf course. If you're drunk, you gotta piss on the golf course.
I've peed. Yeah, I had to go pee like once out of the 3 times we went. But like surprisingly, I don't know. I just kind of held my water down pretty well out there.
Next time you got to do it. Weird. There's nothing like pissing on a golf course.
Yeah, sounds good. Oh, you know what I saw on the golf course? A chipmunk, a true to life chipmunk.
Yeah,
I've never seen a chipmunk, and it looked exactly like the cartoons, kind of with the.
You really were drunk.
Yeah, right. He's talking to me. He's like, "What's going on, buddy?" I'm like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "This is awesome."
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Mega Dads Live. Thank you for joining us this week and every week for the last fucking forever. We've been doing this a long time, Antonio.
Yep. Since the Reagan administration.
We continue to celebrate 10 years of Mega Dads. We hope you do too. Subscribe to the channel here on youtube.com/megadads. Follow us on Threads at Megadads. Go to megadads.org for all the collection of everything that we do. And of course, join us in the Discord. The description, the link, and all that stuff is right in the comments on the show. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week on an all-new episode of Mega Dads Live.